Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zet. Today I'm going to be talking about IBIO. This is a standalone video, but you can watch my previous DD in the description below. If at any point through the technical analysis you find any difficulties understanding them, there's a playlist to help you down in the description. I'm going to go through technical analysis, news, and what I think about this company all throughout, as well as some news surrounding the latest developments for this company. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help this channel grow, subscribe, and leave your notifications on, and let's jump right into it. On the MACD, we get to see a really bullish sign for a test of a reversal. And that test seems to be coming in sometime, perhaps this week. So it is primed to break out on the MACD alone. Another thing that we're seeing, I'm going to zoom in here quickly. The stock is sitting at a neutral level, very close to the oversold part. Momentum seems to be strong and building up. That is really bullish for us. The ADX doesn't show anything other than potential for a trend forming sometime soon, although it's trading more on the sideways part. The stock is above the 200 SMA here in the blue line, and that makes it bullish. The stock is approaching the trading action zone, although this trading action zone in particular is bearish. But I'll discuss exactly the final details on this one here. So 30 EMA is above 10 SMA, so that is bearish. The stock is below the 50 SMA, and that is bearish. Now, let's move on towards the 1 hour perspective. We get to see here, and I'm zooming in. On the MACD, we might actually see a little bit of a green from coming in tomorrow. We get to see that it's actually curving upwards. Moving averages doesn't tell us much. It's still bearish on this side, but it has still potential. And I'll explain what the potential is on that. Mainly what the 1 hour perspective is telling us is that it's trading sideways. On the moving average band, it's expected to trade between 248 and 305, but that's a little bit of room to grow, so I'm going to ignore that for the time being. Now, the other thing we're looking at here is supports and resistances. So I'm going quickly to go on with Fibonacci resistance from the 745 mark all the way down to the 50 cents. We get to see a significant support on the Fibonacci retracements at $1.81 and a significant resistance at the 289. Now, zooming in, we're going to be able to identify where the supports and resistances, and we get to see, I'm going to use the price line here to help you all. There is a support sitting at 206. Below that, we're sitting at $2. Below that, we're sitting at right on $1.87. And then $1.82, $1.75, $1.68, and then $1.40. In terms of resistances here, we're seeing $2.22, and then above that we're seeing $2.29, and then above that $2.39, above that $2.48, above that $2.53. 261 and a 269. So there is room to grow for this one here. Now let's jump right into news. So what is the latest news? There is a few. Now it doesn't show on the SEC filing, but I did pull it out, so hopefully that'll be a good way to go. Now I'm just gonna mention one thing here, and this is from a month ago. They do have a shelf for the company, as with a lot of companies. So there that kind of potential of an offering, but I'm not gonna stress it out because almost every company has that kind of potential. So it's a risk trading stocks. You just basically understand that there is that risk. Now recently, a lot of different funds has brought in this stock, and it comes in something really close to in the last 5 trading days. I'd say easily 1.5 million shares added, and that is quite significant for the stock. If you add all the way back to the 20th, you're easily getting very much closer to the 2 million shares added. So that is quite interesting for me. Now Morgan Stanley has been cutting down a lot of their shares, but you get to see Morgan Stanley has increased their shares by 7 times. BlackRock has increased their shares by 4 times. What does that tell me? It tells me that they have potential. And usually firms like this, they have their own investigators. People do due diligence there on a different level. So what is some news? IBIO 201, we already know this one about demonstrating ability to basically against COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2 immune response. But this one here doesn't show on the SEC filing. IBIO and Planet Biotechnology enters into exclusive worldwide license agreement for the development of a COVID-19 therapeutic. And I'll explain exactly about this one here, but the ACE-FC is a recombinant protein comprised of a human, basically converting enzymes to fuse into a human. I'm not going to go through the exact details, there's a lot of terms, but basically it's a protein. And basically it's infused into a target receptor for coronavirus for cell entry, and it is therapeutic against COVID-19. Now, okay, what is amazing about this company? A lot of people don't seem to understand how this company really operates, and I'm zooming here quickly. So here's how it works. So the really cool thing about it, and I'm quoting this one is from an interview, in addition to the speed, is that each plant is what you would call its own bioreactor. So they're modular in that each little plant makes a protein. So unlike other traditional systems where you have a scale up to manufacture, so you move from a small scale bioreactors, they might be 10 liters or 2,000 liters tanks, and it uses a lot of plastics and waste, and you basically genetically modifying these plants as an eco-friendly system to create those kind of proteins. And so it is also fast farming because you can replicate those plants in a larger scale with not having to scale so much off the manufacturing. So in that way, they're actually a really good longer term kind of solution for a lot of things. So cool. How would you play it, Ed, and what's your plan for this one? Now, currently, the stock has seen a massive jump all the way to 745 and then kind of decline down. Now, on the MACD, this tells me that there is a breakout coming. And I want to be on that breakout. But at the same time, I might be a little bit scared of, hey, some people are pumping this one. What if we dump it, right? But I think that kind of has gone. That was a little jump we've seen. Will we see $1.70? I really doubt it. So we might have to try to get our entry a little bit higher. So my plan, and this is just my plan, is to try to scoop this one at to do $2 value or the $1.96 value. You might see a little bit of shaking in the short term, but longer term, fast farming in such way where you bring basically pharma and agricultural or biotechnology all together. That sounds very interesting for me, and I see a lot of future for it. So for me, it sounds like a good time to perhaps take a little bit of a medium kind of term, but if you're looking for swing, this definitely as well qualifies as a swing. It might see a little bit of a pullback, but it's definitely really primed up. Now, what is the risk level? If that kind of reversal gets declined, and if it does, then I'll just sell my position. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure you mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and you have a wonderful day.